Here at Gundam Planet, we're all about building our own metal builds. That's what I'm hoping to do today. We're also about bringing you a well-rounded review experience. So I've built every iteration of the original Barbatos to this point, so I feel like I have a pretty good frame of reference to bring you a review of the high resolution model Barbatos. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm like really excited about this because we're probably not gonna get a metal build of this, but we have this and you can build it, so we're just gonna do that right now. I guess I'll start with the frame. I'm not gonna start with the parts. So it comes in this really cool little box. You just slide him out of there. Whoa, he's built already. So you already have this to work with, which I picked this up and it has weight to it. There's die cast in all these joints. It gives it really nice texture. All the hydraulic, the piston parts are metal. I can, the joints are tight. I can feel this, moving it around, getting a good sense of it. I'm not going to go too much in detail because I am just unboxing this, but I'm just seeing all this flexibility, all the posability. This is fantastic. This isn't your 1/100th Barbatos frame. This is substantial. It's significantly different. So I want you to get all those misconceptions out of your head if you're worried, oh, this is just 1/100th again. Definitely not. So I'll just leave him out, kind of taking up some space here. Then I immediately noticed, holy cow, the cannon is several different colors. It's not all cast in the same thing. There's no stickers for this. So I immediately love this. The hands look like they have those claw hands you might have seen in the Robot Spirits. The hands are 5 different parts, so this is very, very detailed. If you're concerned that this isn't going to be, get that right out of your head. So that. The white plastic isn't just white. This is it's kind of a mix of pearl and metallic. It's not like that crossbone full cloth weird Gundam Build Fighters thing where it's translucent pearl. This is solid white pearl. Not sure how well the light's picking up on this, but it does have a really nice sheen that picks it up in the light. Now I know you're probably saying, but Nick, Iron Blooded Orphans is so gritty and realistic, we shouldn't have pearly white mobile suits. Don't worry, we have some gray to offset that. So it's gonna almost be like a real grade in terms of the color separation between the very white and the off-white, which usually happens in those kits, so we got some of that. The brown, this just looks like additions to the inner frame. I honestly have no idea what part of the mobile suit it is, but they're probably just frame extensions between the plastic. Here we have the sword, which every Barbatos has to come with the sword. This is also, it's not just standard gray, this is kind of the gunmetal gray that we saw in the Wing TV version where it has this really nice shine to it. So that's really cool. The red, oh my gosh, it's not stickers, it's red. It's translucent red with some metallic shine behind it to let the light catch it through. So that's really good. Thank goodness it's not stickers. The feet, oh, that shine. I love that candy apple red metallic shine. So good. Gold, not yellow. So every piece that isn't white has this really nice metallic. The V-fin, woo, it's sharp. It doesn't have those safety nubs. Get those safety nubs out of here, Bandai. We don't want those on anything. And then the blue, which it's not Uma blue, it's not perfect, but this is really nice. And it's undergated. So that is excellent. And then we have one last runner, more of that pearl white for the legs, arms, headpieces, stuff like that. So you're not getting a whole lot of runners out of here, but with the frame already as detailed as it is, you're kind of in this for the finished product. I would expect anyway, and it looks like it's going to be amazing. The manual is just it's a manual, and one last thing, one sticker. They couldn't somehow work this in somewhere, but I can't really fault them for having one foil sticker. So you don't have to worry about that. I'm not worried about this at all. I'm really excited to do this. We're gonna build it. I have some metal builds to base it off of, and hopefully it lives up to that. So I'm gonna do it and come back. I hope you're still here when I do. Wow. Okay, so I didn't really cover this in any detail really when I was unboxing it, but this is the first in hopefully a continuing line. We don't know that yet of these high-res models. We were talking to some of the guys at Tamashii Nations when we were at Toy Fair, and the whole thing is Tamashii Nations has metal builds, but Bandai Hobby really doesn't have anything like that. So why don't they find this middle ground where you essentially build your own high-quality die-cast action figure? So So this compromise was made where you get the pre-built die-cast inner frame and then you build around it. And so that's what we're dealing with. Everything I'm about to say, I need to preface with this is the first in a line, and with everything like that, there's going to be hiccups. The first real grade, like, things were popping off everywhere, and now they've kind of leveled out, and that's an excellent line. So take everything I'm about to say with a grain of salt, because this is a brand new venture. So another thing that I need to preface is the model kit section. All the runners made in Japan, typical Bandai Hobby Factory, great quality plastic, everything's undergraded, it's beautiful. The frame is made in China, so it's one of those things where you take that and you just have to know that there are probably going to be slight manufacturing imperfections because it's not as precise. And there was only one of those on mine. This little piece over here, it's just like the fitting is slightly farther forward than it has to be, but in the end it really doesn't affect the finished product. And as I said in the opening also, the finished product is really what you're in here for, because the build, sure, it's great. You get 7 runners and the plastic is a dream to work with, except the brown. I hate brown plastic more than anything after working on this. I think it's worse than navy blue. So this brown plastic gotta go. They gotta do something else with it. Other than that, though, like all the metallics, all of the metallic was undergated. It's just the white. Surprisingly, you really can't tell the difference between where the nub was and where it wasn't. I thought that would be a problem since it has that pearl coating, but it's really not. So the model kit portion, absolutely stellar. There is one thing I need to tell you all. If you've built Gundam models before, you see this first page in the manual and you're like, whatever, just blow right by that. I don't need that first page. I've done this before. Don't do that, because the frame comes out of the box incredibly stiff. And that first page is actually instructions on how to break it in. You can still kind of hear, like, that's kind of like, ooh boy, that's tight. It's even tighter than that before. So, like, the entire time I was just absolutely terrified that I was just going to rip one of this guy's arms off. But, you know, as you go through, you feel it start to loosen up and the joints start moving well, and you just end up with this, like, really posable figure. So that's everything I wanted to say before we get into more detail. So now we're going to go into more detail with all that in mind. All right, so like I was saying, where you actually have to, like, break in the frame in order to get it nice and posable here, you also kind of need to learn the way that it works while you're doing that in order to get a sense of, like, how all these pistons work, because they all articulate individually, how to, you know, make it move the way that it can. So hopefully this helps you out with that. The shoulders articulate separately from the arms. You can see, like, these pistons actually work, and these are actually metal. So, like, that's really crazy. It does that on both sides. The arms articulate separately, and they have a different piston back here. But you can see, like, when it moves up, it does limit the range of motion because you don't want to pull the piston out. So you kind of got to finagle that every once in a while when you're posing it. These are the technical limitations, you know, brought on by such a high quality product. The arm bends up nicely. You don't get the full all the way around, like, triple joint going on because of the way that this is. Then moving down to the waist, you see it has these two. These two are incredibly tight when you first started. This is the part that took me the longest because I was, like, really scared. You have to put a lot of pressure, but once you do it, you get this really nice swivel back and forth here. So he can get all those crunches. It also has the really nice twist, so you can get very, very dynamic there. The legs, the skirts articulate on their own. Legs come all the way up. The leg joints are also very tight at the thigh, which is I appreciate that. Thank you. We're not going to have them, you know, flying everywhere. The feet go all the way back and forth, so you can get really dynamic, you know, leg split poses. There's this piston in the ankle, so, you know, you get all these really, really nice mechanical details that in some cases, like up here, do inhibit the posability, but for the most part, they're not bad. And now the backpack gimmick, which was, like, not very well executed on 1/100th. I couldn't even get it to hold the cannon, is very good here. So you can bring this out, and that's what allows you to attach it to the cannon. But then these little pieces actually are on a rail and they slide out. So let's put this back. See how it's slid out like that? You can take the cannon and then you just put it right. I had that upside down, sorry, right there. Just slides right in, and then you got the cannon. So you can do the same thing with a sword, which requires an extra attachment, but it's just, I was really impressed with how intuitive this is and the easy way that it swivels around. So backpack, well done. It makes it not as bad that you only get 2 accessories because they both can be stored on him at any time, which you'll see on the spinning base. So that's really nice. The hands, this really rounds out the accessories over here. You get sword hold hand on each side, you get gun hold hand on each side, and then you get open hand and closed fist. Now, the only other thing you get the action-based one stand so that you can pose them on any action-based one, and this little guy, which you need to put on the sword if you want the sword to be on the backpack like I just showed you with the cannon. So everything can be stored on him at once. He's quite a man. There's a lot of weight here. Like I said, you just kind of got to know how to handle it, and then the nerves will wear off and you will be able to make him look excellent. So man, this is a pretty figure, and it works very well. If you're going on the scale of the first in a line, this is worlds above the first real grade as far as just normal quality issues. Like I said, frame made in China. That's really my only complaint. Everything else is great. So this isn't your 1/100th Barbatos. This is really something else. For the price tag, it's basically what you could expect from a metal build. The amount of accessories you get, the way that you can pose it, it's really it's really right where it should be. And so hopefully we see more of this guy. Hopefully they reproduce him more. Hopefully we see more mobile suits in the future, even if they're not Iron Blooded Orphans. I'd love to see what they do with this. So if you're in the market for a very not a master grade, but a very high quality, very posable, somewhere in between master grade, perfect grade, die-cast collectible, definitely check this out.